Coming up next in Burbank On Demand, getting to school the old-fashioned way, why all these folks ditch their cars and walk to class. Those driving on one of Burbank's most popular streets may have noticed they're getting from point A to point B in less time. We're going to tell you why. Looking to volunteer but aren't quite sure how to go about it? Well, you may be just the person they're looking for. And a new program at the library is using modern technology to honor the past. It's all next in Burbank On Demand. Hello, I'm Drew Sugars with the Public Information Office, your host for this edition of Burbank On Demand, a show you can watch anytime you want on demand. Well, if you've ever driven near a school campus in the morning, you have probably been sucked into the vortex of traffic. As more and more parents drive their kids to class, the congestion only gets worse. Well, this year, the City of Burbank joined the Burbank Unified School District for an annual event that attempts to lessen the traffic impact by using a time-tested method of travel.
Reminder of how much fun it can be to walk to school. If we all just take a couple more minutes, we can walk to school every single day, or bike to school if that's your pleasure. It promotes healthy lifestyles. It allows us to focus on traffic safety as well as reduce harmful emissions into the atmosphere.
It gives us an opportunity to talk to the children about safety, and it also gives them an opportunity to practice health.
I think Walk to School Day is really exciting because everyone gets to be together and they get to be excited and walk to school. We can get exercise in the morning and we can do lots of fun stuff and get to know each other by walking.
We just love walking to school. It's been a great experience for us to have the community come together and, walk as one big group. It's such a nice day out here and we should really do it more often. And we just love doing it.
It's a good experience to see how much there is, and it's fun to walk with everyone here, and it's really fun to do it.
Walk Bike to School Day is an annual event, but organizers want to remind us that you can do it every day. That's one way to help reduce traffic congestion. Well, here's another. Use modern technology to help the flow of traffic. That's exactly what the City of Burbank is doing. Here's Walter Lutz to explain why you may be getting to your destination a little earlier these days.
Cars, cars, cars. Here on the freeway and the streets of Burbank, roughly 350,000 cars pass through each day. Caltrans' years-long freeway widening project has forced more vehicles off the interstate and onto Burbank streets. To lessen the impact, Caltrans and Metro help pay for new technologies to actually improve our daily commutes and make our lives better. Case in point, some of Burbank's most popular thoroughfares are benefiting as city staff gradually implements a cutting-edge traffic light system that's making drive times shorter and friendlier. In 2014, crews began installing a vast network of computer systems and sensors along Glenoaks Boulevard to dynamically adjust the signal lights according to constantly changing traffic conditions. This technology, used from Cohasset Street to Alameda Avenue, utilizes nearly 400 traffic sensors, 20 on-site traffic controllers, 5 miles of fiber optic cable, and high-tech software linked to a computer in the city's traffic management center. The average travel time along Glenoaks has been reduced from 10.7 minutes to 8.2 minutes, and the average number of traffic light stops dropped from 7.9 to 5.4.
Now, a difference of 2.5 minutes may not sound like a lot, but multiply that by 2 trips a day times 5 days a week times 52 weeks a year, and suddenly you're saving a little over 21 hours of your life to do whatever else you want to do. Well, that's enough time for 20 family dinners, 10 trips to the movies, or binge watching 2 whole seasons of Game of Thrones.
This technology has been so successful in helping traffic flow along Glenoaks Boulevard, the city now has plans to add it to Buena Vista Street from the I-5 to the 134. During the upcoming months, the city will be installing and testing the new system along Buena Vista with the hope of it becoming fully operational in spring of 2017. As this and other traffic improvements are implemented throughout the city, the Traffic Division continues to seek out grants and other innovative means to fund these programs, keeping the costs low and the benefits high. For Burbank On Demand, I'm Walter Lutz.
Well, thank you to Walter Lutz for putting that piece together. You can learn more about what the city is doing to address traffic and maintain our streets by going to burbankca.gov and clicking on the Public Works Department. Well, there's still more to come with Burbank On Demand, a Burbank history lesson created for the people, by the people. We'll bring it all in focus. And Burbank has a long tradition of volunteerism. It's not that hard to join the fun. We're going to show you how. That's when Burbank On Demand returns. Welcome back to Burbank On Demand. Remember, every story you see here can be viewed and shared on demand. Just go to burbankca.gov and click on the YouTube icon. Well, America has a reputation around the world for volunteerism. It's a part of who we are as a nation. From the first volunteer firehouse started in 1736 through the late 1800s in the formation of the YMCA and American Red Cross, and into the 1900s when the Rotary, Kiwanis, and Lions clubs were created. This country has relied on volunteers to help build unified, safe, and strong communities. To help you navigate all the ways you can serve your community, the Burbank Volunteer Program is the best place to start your journey as a volunteer.
Hello, I'm Colleen Duffy Felix with the Burbank Public Information Office. To help connect volunteers to be with local nonprofit and public agencies, the Burbank Volunteer Program recently hosted a fair so people of all ages could explore the many volunteer opportunities that are available here in Burbank.
Sometimes it's just answering the phone for donations or stuff.
More than 40 organizations and agencies were set up and ready to inform prospective volunteers of upcoming community service projects and other volunteer opportunities.
We have people who come in because they want to learn new skills. We have people who want to serve and give back to the community.
The fair attracted over 750 people. Although the fair is a great way to connect with agencies in need, the Burbank Volunteer Program accepts applications year-round.
So we match them with an interest and a need that they have to fulfill with a need in the community. That's where our success comes from, is matching people. If we are just taking a position and placing people in positions without finding out what their reason for volunteering, it's not going to work.
Hi. Good morning. How are you, Natalia? Good?
Better. It's better. Not good. It's better.
Have a lovely lunch.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
There's so many unique agencies in the community that no one even knows about, and the Burbank Volunteer Program is that open door to all these new resources. So We can tailor our volunteer experience to any age group. We have volunteers ages 12 to 102. The Burbank Volunteer Program is an incredible resource for anyone looking for volunteer opportunities.
After you've submitted your application, the Burbank Volunteer Program will set up an interview to help you understand and define what type of volunteer work is right for you.
In the interview, I go over the details of the job, the days, the times, if there's a minimum amount of hours that they need to commit to in order to volunteer at a certain place. They understand all of that in our interview.
Brianna also helps Burbank students achieve their required student learning hours.
There are a couple of things in the edit.
We have connections with over 45 local nonprofit and public agencies. It's a whole wide variety of different areas that the students can get involved in, like with hospitals, senior citizens, with kids, animals, a whole variety. So the Burbank Volunteer Program really helps them pursue their interests and maybe what field they might want to go into one day.
It's an essential act of citizenship that unites people of diverse backgrounds to work together toward a common goal.
There you go. We don't have any fruit today. How about some milk? You have room for our cocktail and milk?
So, if you're looking to increase your self-esteem, enhance your skills, expand your career path, and become healthier mentally and physically, be a volunteer.
Well, thank you, Colleen. Service to others teaches children and adults to look beyond themselves and understand the important role they can play in their community. If you missed the volunteer fair and would like to find volunteer opportunities that are right for you, the Burbank Volunteer Program is ready to assist. Pick up your application at the Jocelyn Adult Center or give them a call at 818-238-5370 and they'll send one to you. Now, for more information, you can go to their Facebook page at BVP Burbank Volunteer Program. Well, it is time to see what's new in Burbank.
Welcome to What's New in Burbank. On Friday, November 11th at 11 a.m., the City of Burbank and the Burbank Veterans Committee will hold the city's Veterans Day ceremony at the McCambridge Park War Memorial, located at the corner of Amherst Drive and San Fernando Boulevard. This year's event will feature a flyover by the Condor Squadron, a special presentation by the Crescenta Valley High School Air Force Junior ROTC, and a performance by members of the John Burroughs Powerhouse Choir. They will also honor a member of the Burbank Military Service Recognition Program who has returned home, U.S. Marine Katie Kokrak. For more information on the ceremony, please call the Overham Community Center at 818-238-5435. For 3 days in November, hundreds of world-class creators of animation will come together under one roof for the Creative Talent Network Animation Expo. Held at the Burbank Airport Marriott on November 18th, 19th, and 20th, the Animation Expo is designed to bring together some of the top talent in the animation industry to empower professionals, educate students, and entertain the general public. Not only will the attendees meet the faces behind the fantasy, the Animation Expo will provide workshops, recruiting, presentations, and networking opportunities. There's a variety of ticket prices that range from single-day and single-event tickets to a comprehensive 3-day pass. And for the first time, the Expo offers a modestly priced general admission ticket that allows the public to have access to the Exhibitors Pavilion, where 200-plus booths and tables will be assembled where you can meet animators and buy souvenirs. So don't miss the CTN Animation Expo on November 18th, 19th, and 20th at the Burbank Airport Marriott to meet and connect with the animation community. To get more information about the Expo and to purchase tickets online, go to ctnanimationexpo.com. Lost Burbank is the latest book about Burbank to hit the shelves. And this one is the work of two guys who met at Burbank High School from where they graduated in 1974. The book is the product of a lifelong friendship and an obsession with everything Burbank. Wesley Clark and Michael McDaniel will present the book at the Buena Vista Branch Library on Wednesday, November 30th at 7 p.m. Clark and McDaniel will take attendees down memory lane with a slideshow before signing copies of their book. It all happens on Wednesday, November 30th, starting at 7 p.m. at the Buena Vista Branch Library. If you plan to cast a ballot in the November 8th general election, you must be registered to vote by Monday, October 24th. In addition to selecting their choice for president, voters in California will choose a U.S. senator and weigh in on a number of state legislative races and 17 state ballot measures. Here in Burbank, voters will also be asked to approve or reject the construction of a new passenger terminal at the Hollywood Burbank Airport. Again, the last day to register to vote is Monday, October 24th. I'm Peter Masurlian, and this has been What's New in Burbank.
Still to come in Burbank On Demand, have you checked out the latest edition of Currents? We're going to show you what you're missing. And Burbank like you remember, or maybe not. This new program at the library will help bring Burbank in focus. Burbank On Demand will be right back.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
For more than 100 years, Burbank has been making history. Some of it has had international significance, like what was produced by the studios or Lockheed, while other local history has been just that, local. Well, these life moments have been captured primarily in photographs and newspapers, but as we find ourselves in the digital age of the 21st century, the Burbank Library is offering something called Burbank In Focus. As Peter Masurlian reports, this digital library of Burbank images allows people around the world the ability to visit 20th century Burbank with a click of a mouse.
The subjects in these pictures never would have thought that people around the globe would be looking at their images decades later. But that's exactly what's happening. In some cases, it's been more than a century in the making since dentist David Burbank had an incorporated city named after him in 1911. In 2016, the Burbank Library rolled out Burbank In Focus from early June to late August. The website, burbankinfocus.org, is a digital library of historical Burbank images. And on June 9th, these Burbank residents got to make a little history themselves as the first members of the public to take the website on a test drive, which made a lot of sense since Burbankers have already been supplying pictures and using the website, which is available to anyone around the world with access to the internet. In fact, it was a resident's suggestion at a local town hall meeting that led the Burbank Library to apply for a grant from the California State Library, which encourages cities to pitch an idea for library services and technology grants. And Burbank got one for $16,000 and bought, among other things, computer software, a high-quality scanner to create the online archive, monitors, and a hosted, well-designed website. The next step in building up the collection was a mid-June scanning day, when anyone could just drop by the Burbank In Focus office with their pictures, have them assessed, and if they fit the broad theme of the project, have the pictures scanned. That's generally the process now. Residents make an appointment to visit the scanning room on the second floor of the Burbank Central Library in order to contribute their pictures to the digital library.
And like right here, here's a photo of Stevenson basketball, some kids in 1953-54. You can see the basketball for preservation purposes as archival large format scans. This one is an area around Bob's Big Boy that no longer exists like this. This was taken sometime in the late 80s. It's totally different now.
3 runners on the back.
This Burbank resident heard about the Saturday scanning day and arrived with a stack of photos of aircraft built at the old Lockheed plant in Burbank.
My dad worked there probably for, I'm guessing, like 10 years.
My wife had these. These actually come from her father. Again, he worked there for about 40 years. And he worked there during the dawn of the computer age.
Okay.
But there are some really terrific photos here of
Absolutely.
aircraft that were built by Lockheed.
It's photographs, isn't it?
On August 25th, Burbankers packed the Central Library Auditorium for the launch party. After months of preparation, the website was now live for anyone to use around the world.
Burbank In Focus will showcase the rich history of Burbank, the people, places, and activities that made us what we are today. We look forward to building the site over time with contributions from individuals, from other city departments, and from community partners.
My father passed away when I was 3 years old. And this was before the age of even Polaroids everywhere. There are probably 3 or 4 pictures of my father. And I can't tell you how much I would love the opportunity to sit down and look at dozens and dozens of pictures of him. I believe in this collection you're going to see already some terrific stuff that I've seen of the downtown area, again, with cars bumper to bumper, and we're talking cars that weigh as much as a DC-10.
Basically, we have hundreds and hundreds of photos already.
Finally, with all the lights down, local history librarian Jeff Whalen showed the capacity crowd how to use the website, tossing in a few interesting stories about some of the pictures.
It was not taken like yesterday, as it looks. It was actually taken when this library opened in 1963, and it looks exactly the same as it did 53 years ago. And actually, when I was looking into this, I found out that this room was used in the 90s for filming a scene in the movie Apollo 13. I don't know if you guys knew that, but this room doubled as a press room from 1970. If you go into the search box up there, then you can type in what you're looking for. I'll type in Apollo, and then you get a couple photos here of the set when they decorated it for the movie.
As the evening ended, the attendees did what millions of people around the world will do at burbankinfocus.org, navigate their way around the website, remembering old Burbank, researching old Burbank, and simply enjoying the history of a place knee-deep in it. For Burbank On Demand, reporting on Burbank In Focus, I'm Peter Masurlian.
To check out the growing Burbank In Focus archive or to contribute to it, go to burbankinfocus.org. Have you checked out the current edition of Currents? It is the quarterly magazine created by our community-owned utility, Burbank Water and Power. It's a quick read, but you'll get lots of interesting facts and valuable advice that could save you money and energy. Here's BWP's Jeanette Meyer to show you what's in Currents.
Hello, I'm Jeanette Meyer with Burbank Water and Power. 4 times a year, BWP sends out a newsletter called Currents, and this is the most recent issue. Here's a quick preview of some of the stories we hope you find interesting. Every June, Currents features Burbank's annual water quality report. It's important information about where Burbank's water comes from, and the myriad of water quality tests that BWP performs to ensure that safe drinking water is delivered to you day in and day out. This year, we added a short article about lead. The water quality crisis in Flint, Michigan may have some Burbank residents wondering if there is lead in our water. Well, good news. We do test for lead, and every test has come back at non-detect levels. We're happy to report that BWP continues to meet or exceed all state and federal drinking water standards. Now, speaking of water, what's the latest on California's drought? Well, I wish I could report that the drought is over, but that's not quite the case. We did have some good news with heavy rains and snowfall, mostly in the northern part of the state. For right now, the state's water supply outlook is better than it has been in a while. And for that reason, the Burbank City Council just voted to allow landscape watering 3 days per week. The days are Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. We still need to make every drop count, so please make sure you adhere to all of Burbank's irrigation requirements. Last, what may be the most important article in this newsletter, unfortunately, has to do with the possibility of rolling electrical blackouts. You've heard of the natural gas leak that occurred at the Aliso Canyon Natural Gas Storage Facility, which is located by Porter Ranch. That facility is now shut down while safety inspections are being conducted, but hopefully will be open again soon. This facility is very important to the region. It provides natural gas for 17 power plants that are located across the Southland. Without natural gas coming from this facility, those power plants may not get enough fuel to generate electricity. And if that occurs, rolling blackouts across the region could happen. With an electric reliability of 99.999% over the past 2 years, you know that keeping the lights on is very important to BWP, and it's something that we're very good at. But this situation is different, and it affects not just Burbank, but the entire Southern California region. BWP will be working and coordinating with other utilities to mitigate or avoid rolling blackouts. We'll certainly do everything we can to avoid blackouts, but this situation is bigger than just our service territory. BWP can't do it alone, and we'll need your help, especially during the peak energy hours of 4 to 7 p.m. Please conserve electricity and natural gas. For instance, run appliances like your clothes washer, dryer, and dishwasher in the morning or late evening, and bump up the temperature on your AC a few degrees. We know that you will want as much advance notice as possible should rolling blackouts occur. The good news is that the City of Burbank has an emergency contact system called readyburbank.org. Please jot that website address down now and take just 5 minutes to go online and sign up for alerts. If there's a likelihood of a blackout, we'll send you a short message to keep you informed. When you sign up, you'll pick the best way or ways for us to contact you. We'll be sending out email, phone, and text messages for your convenience. Again, that web address is readyburbank.org. Please sign up. If you don't, we may not be able to alert you to rolling electricity blackouts. In addition to signing up for emergency alerts, you should also be prepared in the event the lights go out. Here are 4 easy tips. Keep a working flashlight and extra batteries handy. If an outage hits, turn off and unplug electrical equipment to help prevent a surge when the power comes back on. Turn off all lights except for one so that you'll know when power has been restored. And keep refrigerator doors closed as much as possible. You can read these stories and more in this issue of Currents, available online at burbankwaterandpower.com or perhaps sitting in your home right now. Until next time, I'm Jeanette Meyer with BWP, wishing you a very happy summer.
Well, thank you, Jeanette. If you didn't get a copy of Currents or you just want to check it out, go to burbankca.gov and click on the tab for BWP and then type Currents in the search box. Every story you saw within this show is available on demand. If you like what you watched and you want to see it again or share with someone you know, just go to the city's website, burbankca.gov, where you can watch it on demand. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time